Assalamualaikum everyone, my name is Nur Alia Frizana and I will present about the summary of the case, which is Continental Tire PJ Sdn Bhd Employees Union versus Continental Tire PJ Malaysia Sdn Bhd. Okay, it involves a dispute between a company and its employees union regarding changes to the work shift schedule. Okay, since 2007, employees followed a 5-day shift system with 1 or 2 rest days, which gave them around 85 rest day per year under the collective agreement and MOU. Okay, however, and in the 2018, the company introduced a new 6 days work and 1 day rest shift system without the union consent, reducing the rest day to about 52 days per year. Okay, the union argued that this change violate the collective agreement and the Employment Act 1955. Okay, after reviewing the case, the industrial court decided that the company had breached the agreement because the previous shift system had become an existing benefit that could not be changed without mutual consent.
Good morning, madam. Today I will present a recent industry dispute in Malaysia involving Continental Tire PJ Malaysia Sdn Bhd. The case is about changes in work schedule and rest days and the issues that came from these changes. First fact will be work schedule and rest day. The company unilaterally changed the shift schedule and reduced annual rest day from 85 to 52. This affected employees' work-life balance and entitlements. The change was done without consulting the union, which ignored the collective bargaining process and created the dispute. Second fact will be consent award not followed. There was a prior industrial court consent award to protect employees' rights. The company did not follow it. Consent awards are legally binding, so ignoring it is a violation of industrial law. The court had to decide if the union was right to enforce it under the Industry Relation Act 1967. Third fact will be impact on employees. The reduction of rest day and shift changes affect employees' well-being, productivity, and satisfaction. The union say changes were made without discussion. The court considered these effects when deciding if the employee act fairly. Let's move to the next part, which is issue. First issue will be breach of collective agreement. Did the company break the collective agreement? Employees' basic conditions like rest day cannot be changed without negotiation. The court examined whether the reduction violated the agreement. Second issue will be ignoring consent award. The second issue is the failure to follow the industrial court award. The court had to decide if the employers ignored a legal order and if actions like restoring rest day or compensation were needed. Last issue will be fairness of employer actions. The final issue is whether the company act fairly. Even if they claim operational needed, changes must consider employees' welfare. The court checked if the reduction was justified or unfair. That's all from me. Thank you.
Good day everyone, I will explain the relation of this case to the relevant acts and law. First, under the Industrial Relation Act 1967, Section 9 discusses trade union recognition. This law gives employee the right to be represented by a trade union and prevents employers from unfairly refusing union recognition. Second, the Trade Unions Act 1959 governs the registration and membership of trade union. It ensures that trade unions operate legally and represent workers properly. Next, the Federal Constitution of Malaysia. Particularly, this Article 10 guarantees freedom of associations. This means employees have the right to form and join trade unions. In addition, collective bargaining under Section 13 of the Industrial Relation Act allows negotiations between employers and employees on wages and working conditions, but it requires union recognitions. Lastly, the Department of Industrial Relations Malaysia and the Industrial Code of Malaysia play an important role in resolving disputes through mediation and ensuring fairness between employers and employees. Thank you.
I will explain what the employee did right and what the employee did wrong in this case. First, what the employee did right, the employee attempted to improve the efficiency of the company's operation and production by introducing the new work schedule. From a management perspective, this decision was aimed at supporting the plan's overall performance and helping the company achieve its daily production targets. This shows that the employee was thinking about long-term operational planning. In addition, the company communicated the changes by sending emails and memos to the union. They also claimed that employee salaries and total weekly working hours would remain the same. The employee also stated that consultations with the union were conducted before implementing the new shift system, and that the new system was first introduced in selected departments. This shows that the employee attempted gradual implementation instead of making sudden changes. There were also several mistakes made by the employer. The biggest issue was that the employer unilaterally changed the shift system from the long-standing 5-1 arrangement to a 6-1 system without obtaining the union's consent. Furthermore, the change significantly reduced employees' annual rest days from 85 days to only 52 days. Although weekly hours remained the same, the reduction in rest day negatively affected employees' work-life balance, health, and morale. Lastly, the employee failed to follow past practices by not preparing and distributing the yearly work schedule calendar for agreement with the union before implementing the change. This weakened trust between management and employees and showed poor industrial relation management. Next, I will explain what the employee and the union did right and wrong in this case. First, what the union did right, the union acted responsibly by raising the issue through formal letters and email instead of immediately taking industrial action. This shows that they followed proper procedures and tried to resolve the matter professionally. They also formally recorded their disagreement and requested discussion while reminding the employee to comply with the collective agreement and the Employment Act. Another positive point is that the employees continued working under protest. This shows their professionalism and commitment to maintaining production while still protecting their legal rights. By doing this, they avoided disrupting the company's operation and demonstrated good faith. In addition, the union used lawful method by bringing the issue to the industrial court. This reflects their respect for legal process and helped maintain industrial harmony. They also strengthened their case by documenting past practices and agreement to protect employee welfare and existing benefits. However, there were also some weaknesses. By continuing to follow the new schedule under protest for a period of time, it may have indirectly allowed management to argue that employees were accepting the new system. This could weaken the union's position. Furthermore, earlier and more structured negotiations such as mediation or collaborative discussions might have helped resolve the issue before it escalated to legal action. Our group fully supports the industrial court's decision to revoke the new work schedule and return to the original system. The key reason is that the long-standing 5-1 work schedule wasn't just a routine, it had become a vested advantage for the employees. Under Malaysian labor law, an employee cannot simply remove a benefit like that unilaterally. We believe that the court justification is vital because labor laws exist as a form of social protection. Generally, employees have less bargaining power than employers. By reducing rest days, the employee created less favorable service conditions, which directly impacted the well-being of the workforce. Another point we agree with is the importance of established practice. When a system is used consistently for years and written into agreements, it creates legitimate expectation. When an employee disrupts this without a proper negotiation, it disrupts trust, damages industrial harmony. Ultimately, work schedules aren't just paperwork, they allow people to plan their lives. These rules hold employers accountable to their negotiated agreements, ensuring fairness and stability in industrial relations. Looking at the advantages, this case is a win for industrial relations because it reinforces the power of collective agreements. It protects worker well-being, specifically rest days, and acts as a safeguard to prevent employers from changing terms of service unilaterally. This ensures between management and the union. On the downside, reverting to the old schedule may create operational challenges for production. We also have to consider the high cost of legal proceedings in terms of time and money. Finally, the conflict itself likely destroys workplace motivation and damage the trust between staff and management.
We present about solution in perfect and future. Okay, that's it in prevention. Industrial Court Award No. 709 of 2024 on procedural fairness, clear communication, and legal compliance in employer-union relation. Many disputes arise from unclear collective agreements with procedure and poor transparency. Employees should strengthen HR policies, ensure decisions are documented and provide ongoing training. Proactive engagement with unions through joint consultative committees and allow discussion of workplace safety, performance, and welfare before issues escalate. Building trust and transparency reduces misunderstandings and promotes stable industrial relations. I will continue the solution to perfect in future. Strengthening industrial harmony. Fair domestic inquiry procedure, good fair conduct, and consistent application of policies are essential. Employers and unions should use alternative dispute resolution such as mediation before litigation, transparent performance management, and documented appraisal reduce bias in promotion, transfer, or disciplinary action. Workplace training and employee engagement help identify issues early. Sustainable industrial harmony is achieved through dialogue, mutual respect, and adherence to labor laws rather than litigation.